All right. What's up? So today's the day. Today is the day that everybody's been anticipating, and that is the launch of the demo Road to Vostok. So we're gonna be checking that out today. See what it's all about. After we're like done checking it out, because I don't know how much content this demo is gonna have. I don't know if it's gonna have an hour worth of content, or if it's gonna have 20 hours worth of content, or if it's going to be like an open world sandbox where the content is endless. I don't know what they expect. Nobody does. So we're going to jump into that. As soon as that pops off, we will download it and get it all set up. We're just waiting for Steam. We're just waiting for Steam to release the demo for download, which should be within the next like hour tops. But yeah, if the content isn't long, like if we get like an hour of content out of the game and then it's like just repetitive, we'll jump over to some Daisy and play the new 1.19 experimental patch. Or maybe some Tarkov, I don't know. We'll see. Let's watch some of these videos though until let's see if it's even in, let's go over to Steam. I don't even have Steam open right this second. Let's open up Steam. It might be ready to download now. I don't know. Let's see what's up. Oh, my bank account looking a little light. $30. The old Steam. I think I have this thing on my wish list. Okay, so yeah, can't get it yet. I'm gonna exit out of Steam though, because I'm pretty sure once it does become available, you'd have to restart Steam anyway. At least that's how it works for other early access launches. So let's close Steam and let's watch some VODs. All right. Let's go ahead and kill the Resident Evil.
Welcome to Road to Vostok First Campfire. For those who haven't followed the development since the beginning, my name is Antti, I'm the developer of Road to Vostok. My background is that I started learning game development 10 years ago, and I'm also a former army officer and visual game design teacher, but I resigned from both of those careers in order to become a full-time developer for Road to Vostok. I've been a full-time developer for 2 months now, and this decision to quit those careers has definitely been the right one. I know that I have the right background, skill set and motivation, so over the time Road to Vostok will become the best hardcore survival game out there. If you want to know more about my background and the goals for this project, I highly recommend watching the first introduction devlog episode on this channel. But now let's focus on this video. This campfire is a series where I go through important topics and answer your questions about the game. The purpose of these videos is to increase transparency and handle feedback related to the game in the future. This time there will be 3 main topics. These are content plan, developer Q&A and the future of the project. Let's jump straight into the first topic. Content plan's idea is to tell when and what game related material the developer plans to publish. Not all developers necessarily have this, but in my opinion this is important in terms of schedules and predictability of the content. Here's the current content plan for Road to Vostok. The first and most significant format that I'm going to focus on and commit to is those work in progress videos. At the moment, these videos seem to work really well, and the way they produce quick information about the progress of the project is the reason why it's worth committing to them. Making these videos is also extremely efficient from the developer's point of view, because editing takes almost no time and the material is created naturally along with the development. I will continue to make these VIP videos at the end of each month. I enjoy making them and I hope you will find them interesting in the future as well. The second content type that I think is important is this new campfire. This is designed to be a dialogue of some kind where it's possible to go through questions and feedback from you. The first couple of campfires will be just in pre-recorded video format, but in the future these videos will be taken to a stream format where I can answer questions live. I think personally it would be nice to have some sort of real-time dialogue, because most of the game development is rather one-sided work behind the scenes. But first I have to learn the streaming tools and get used to live broadcast and so on, so these first campfires will be pre-recorded. I think the good frequency for publishing these campfire videos is currently 4 times per year. And then there's the third content category, other. This includes trailers, devlog-like feature deep dives, cinematic videos and special events. For this category there is no specific schedule when the content is being published. The reason is that I want to maximize the game development time as long as there is just one developer. Regarding those cinematic videos, since all the game's maps are based on real abandoned places, the purpose of these videos is to showcase these places and at the same time tell the story elements of the game somehow in a visual form. I don't have the necessary equipment for these yet, but I have already taken a couple of clips with my phone just for testing purposes. Here are those clips.
Alright, so we're gonna stop that right there. The dev literally just posted public demo 1, a video on it. So he said right after he'd post his video, he'd launch the demo. So let's watch this video he just posted, and then we'll see if the demo is ready for play. The refresh. There it is. Upcoming. "77 minutes. Holy shit. So we got an hour. About an hour. Alright, we'll keep that on.
That was the content plan for Road to Vostok. I'm going to commit to it, and the next work in progress video will be then expected again at the end of this month. Next, let's move to the Q&A, where I picked your questions from Twitter and YouTube. I tried to choose different style of questions and those that had been asked multiple times. I also want to thank you for your interest in the game and in general for wanting to ask these questions. The first question is that will the weapons degrade with use? The answer to this is yes. All the weapons in the game will have a condition percentage, and using weapons will reduce that condition slowly over time. The weapon condition will be reflected in the weapon's reliability and visually in the weapon's textures. Visually it will be something like this. I will also mention that the condition of the weapon can be raised back up by maintaining the weapon or taking it to a weapon-related trader like in Stalker Anomaly. The next question. In the demo, what can we expect? I assume that this means the upcoming first demo, which is supposed to be released probably at the end of September if everything goes well.
That's today.
The goal with this public demo 1 is to give the opportunity to try out game's core mechanics, performance and general appearance. The demo will have a fairly compact village map, a procedural FPS controller, 6 weapons, an early version of the AI, looting possibilities, and a demo menu where you can adjust settings such as time of day and so on.
Okay, so that's basically everything that we're going to be seeing today, what he just mentioned. I'd imagine the early version of the AI isn't going to be great. I've never seen a demo this early, like a game launched this early with really good AI. If the AI was really good, I'd be very impressed. But we also get, I think, what do you say, 6 guns, 6 weapons, and a pretty good, like, decent chunk of the map to check out, so that should be good. The main thing I'm going to be looking into here is the game's mechanics, is what's going to be interesting to me. It ain't even about the graphics. You can have a game with really fucking good graphics, but if the core mechanics of the game are bad, the game won't do good.
This demo is also supposed to act as a reality check for the developer, meaning that the direction is right and there is a good potential and foundation in place in order to continue the development. Any possibility of co-op down the road? Yes, there is a possibility for this, and it has been actually internally tested that the game is, let's just say, co-op compatible in the future. However, it is important to first achieve a high-quality single-player experience and capable AI before developing the actual co-op functionalities.
Alright, so it's going to be a single-player game, like you just mentioned, and he's staying very open to having a co-op mode so we can play with other people. So that's good to know. I like that he's going to, I like the way that he's looking at it. He wants to have a solid single-player game before he moves on, because it's like a whole different demon when it comes to development. When you do like multiplayer shit, it's a lot harder. That's why you see this game created so fast, because creating a single player game, you can develop a single player game way faster than you can develop a multiplayer game. That's how it's always been.
Is the AI gonna be smart? Will they go to cover and sometimes flank the player? My answer to this is that I have a strong confidence and a plan towards the AI and its capability in the future. In the first demo, it doesn't know how to get to cover yet, but flanking should be implemented by then. At the beginning, including the first demo, the AI will be quite simple, but a good AI system is so important for a single player game, so a lot of effort will be put into it in the future.
Okay, so that answers my question about the AI that we were just talking about. So the AI is going to have flanking capability through this first demo, he says. We'll test that out. But he's also saying it's not going to be like the smartest AI straight off the launch, so we'll see.
This is still pretty far from production ready, but here's one example that I've been working behind the scenes for AI. Let's imagine that in this picture you are the AI and the character behind the tree is the player. One common problem related to AI that I have tried to solve is player recognition. Typically in video games, player recognition is based on raycast functionality, where the AI sends out the raycast and the recognition is based on whether the raycast hits the player or not. The common problem with this approach is that the recognition is very unrealistic sometimes, because the raycast recognizes hits from all objects. This is problematic because even if the player is clearly visible, the raycast can hit the mesh of the tree, and the end result can be that the player is not recognized and the AI just walks past the player. Or the situation can be other way around, that the player is really well hidden, but the raycast still finds the player and any kind of stealth-based immersion is broken. In the future, my approach in Road to Vostok will be based on a two-phase detection mechanism, which is based first on raycast that gives permission to move to the second phase. In this second phase, the AI takes low-res image of the game world and renders the player and the world in different colors. When this image is taken, the AI simply reads the percentage of color differences and the player's recognition only happens when a certain threshold value is exceeded. According to my initial tests, this will significantly improve the realism of the AI and there will be almost no effect on the game's performance. And the cool element here is that since the final recognition is done by color differences, this means that if the player wears, for example, camo patterned clothes, player will be harder to recognize from the terrain and nature elements.
Alright, so that's really interesting. I don't know if I've played any games that have used this type of development in games before. I don't think I have. I don't know if Tarkov uses anything like this with their AI, but this is like really interesting shit right here. Makes me really excited for what his end all is going to be for his AI in this game.
But yes, there will be a lot of advanced features planned for the AI in the future. What types of tools will help the player to locate himself in the Vostok? In Area 5, the player can use a compass, location-based paper maps, and there are also various signs that help the navigation. On the Vostok side, on the other hand, there are no paper maps available, the compass is not reliable, and some part of the environment is randomly generated every playthrough, so the goal is to make the navigation more difficult than to make it more easier. Is this gonna be completely realistic environment, or is there gonna be some paranormal activity too? In terms of fantasy elements, Road to Vostok has none of those. The game is designed to be a realistic hardcore survival game, but there are definitely still spooky environments, mysteries and dynamic events that make you feel unsafe, especially in the night. Will there be any customization for the player's appearance, like changing outfits or the color/camo outfits? Yes, there will be a full body clothing system like in DayZ. You will have item slots for head, face, torso, rig, backpack, legs, hands and feet. Related to clothing system and character preview, DayZ uses 3D character preview, Road to Vostok will use a 2D version of that. This means that clothing and equipment is based on 2D sprites and layers. If you are familiar with the game Neo Scavenger, the idea here is to do something similar with the character preview. But of course, the clothing items you place in the hand and torso slot will also have a 3D effect on the character's hand rig, so you can see them changing visually from the FPS camera. The goal is to have this system ready before the public demo too.
Alright, I like that. I like this idea that he's talking about for the UI. I think DayZ has one of the best UIs. DayZ and Tarkov have really good UIs. I do like Tarkov's better, but at the same time, DayZ's it just works really well. The UI for DayZ has just always been good. Not always been good, but their newest since the render update, it's been really good.
Will the weapons be modifiable with various interchangeable stocks, optics, etc.? Yes, but there will be small restrictions in the early phases of the project. It is important to find an approach that is again easily manageable for one developer and that allows new weapons to be added to the game quickly. At first, I think my approach to this will be based on so-called mod kits. The idea here is that weapons can be upgraded to a certain extent using a mod kit item or buying an upgrade from the in-game weapon trader. Weapons of certain product family can be upgraded and the upgrade changes the appearance of the weapon, one could say in a more tactical direction, and adds more attachment slots to the weapon. Each upgrade level will also slightly improve the parameters of the weapon. I think a system like this could be a good middle ground choice for weapon modding from the perspective of production speed. In this context, however, it is necessary to mention that these mod kits will be pretty rare in the game and the upgrade price from the weapon trader will be really high. The goal is that you really have to do a lot of work in order to get good weapons, meaning progress in the game.
Alright, so I like this. Like what he mentioned here about the whole mod kit and the upgrading of weapons, I imagine he's getting this from Stalker, because anybody that's played Stalker knows it's really difficult to get your weapons upgraded. You have to go through like traders and stuff like that, and it takes a long time and money, and you have to do a lot of quests and shit to have a decent be able to upgrade your weapon with the shit that you want on it. I think this is good. I like this. I like that it's going to be a difficult thing to achieve.
As an additional note, I think there was also another question, which was, is it possible to change attachments on the fly? Yes, you can. There's a specific weapon UI for that, which is always available.
Okay, now this UI here for changing shit on the fly, what he's showing here in this photo, I'm not a fan of this right here. I wish he would do something more along the lines. I think Tarkov does this really well, and DayZ does it really well. What does this remind me of? I guess this is kind of like, what is it? World War III does something like this, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they do. I don't know. I haven't had enough experience with this type of attachment add-on UI. But I don't really like, just looking at it, I don't like it. But maybe that will change when I test it out. I don't know, we'll see.
What would you consider the main selling point for the game right now? First of all, in my opinion, there are far too few realistic and hardcore first-person survival games on the market in general, meaning high-quality experiences. A game that can offer realistic survival experience and weapon handling without fantasy elements like zombies is in itself important to bring to the market. But I think the main selling point for this game is still based on this dangerous journey to Vostok. The thought of crossing the border zone and moving into this dangerous area at the risk of losing everything is really compelling for me. I truly believe that I can produce a rather unique survival experience related to this ideology.
Alright, I think he's getting ready to explain this, but I'm guessing this right here is going to be like a safe zone where you can like fuck around with traders, and I don't think you'll be looting and shit here. I don't know. But this is going to be like where you PvP and shit at. Let's see if he explains this. I can't remember.
If you want to learn more about this design approach, the first introduction devlog video has more detailed explanation to this. Would love to see your workflow for creating props, especially since you are not going with the PBR route. My workflow is heavily based on references from the real world. I have a large collection of reference images that I have collected over several years in order to help the production of this game. I go to abandoned places, military museums, flea markets, and look for objects in sheds, warehouses, and in nature that are suitable for this game. This way of photographing objects from the real world and bringing them into game is really meaningful for me, and I believe that the end result will also look good over time. If you want an idea what kind of techniques and tools I use, let's take a look, for example, that radio shown in the last video. I basically went to flea market looking for an old radio, and when I found the right one, I bought the radio for €5. Then I went back home and took a couple of pictures of the radio with my phone. After that, I modeled a low poly version of the radio with Blender and unwrapped the model with grid-based UV approach. Next, I took the UVs into Photoshop, placed the photos of the radio on top of those UV islands, and that's really all. This approach to modeling and texturing is really fast for me and allows me to make optimized game models really easily, and these assets don't consume much file space because all the models use only one texture map. And visually, I also think that this kind of style fits the game pretty well. There were still many more questions to be answered, but hopefully there were some interesting answers from me among the ones that I decided to choose in this video. The last thing I want to talk about is the next steps and the future of the project. As some of you already know, at the end of September this year, the plan is to release a small playable demo for free on Steam. The main purpose of this first demo is to receive initial feedback from those core mechanics. After this first demo is released, I will update the demo according to your feedback, and then the journey towards the next milestone will begin. The next big milestone will be in Q3 2023. I will then publish another free demo of the game that works as a vertical slice. Towards this milestone, I will be also hiring world-class freelancers in specific areas to speed up the production, and I will organize 3 different workshops that will boost several key areas of the game. And the goal for all this is clear. I'm going to develop the best single player hardcore survival game out there, and if this sounds promising to you and you believe in this vision, I launched a Patreon for this project that will hopefully give me the possibility to continue working as a full-time developer, hire freelancers, and maintain 100% creative control to the project. If you want to check out that Road to Vostok Patreon, there are currently 3 different tiers to choose from, but if the price point of these tiers doesn't feel right to you, there is also the possibility of support with a custom pledge. I think that Patreon can be a significant factor related to production of this project. I would be more than grateful if you decide to support me and this game. Finally, there is this one question. What do you see after the launch of the game? Years of iteration and tweaks, a new project, hiring someone to expand the game. Here's a picture of my first game project 10 years ago. I didn't know anything about game development at the time, but I still knew that in the future I wanted to make this game what I'm doing now. It took me 10 years to reach this skill level where I can now develop Road to Vostok, and the goal is not to work on any other project than this. I don't have any exit plans or intention to move the project aside even after the release. I'm planning to stay on this project for a long time. And along the way there may be some small failures and problems, but this is not a project that will disappear suddenly, and I'm not a developer who runs away to the next project. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.
All right, well, sounds dedicated. I think we're gonna turn it down a little bit. We'll watch another video in a minute. I want to check something out real quick. Where's Steam? I gotta open Steam back up real quick. Okay. Yep, still can't get it yet. Let's watch this. All right. Let's watch another one. Let's watch the one on looting.
Hi, welcome to Road to Vostok devlog episode 3. The main goal with this episode is to showcase my thought process and ideology around looting and how these looting systems, in my opinion, should be implemented to a hardcore survival game like Road to Vostok. This episode took a little longer to do because there have been a lot of development intensive deadlines for me recently. Even if no one knows about these behind the scenes deadlines, I think it's really important for a developer to maintain a positive rhythm, discipline and stick to these. There have also been a lot of positive things going on since the last devlog episode. I will share you some of these at the end of this video. But now let's talk about looting. In this episode I'm going to cover two main topics. These are loot architecture and loot ideology. The theme for this episode is going to be pretty technical, but I will try my best to explain these things. The purpose of this loot architecture chapter is to demonstrate how items end up in the game and how survival game project like this is managed from the developer's perspective. I decided to add this chapter into this episode because developers don't usually discuss these topics publicly, and even though players don't need this information, it's still a very important topic when it comes to scalability of the game. But first, to make things easier to understand, we basically need some sort of target item that we can track all the way through this process, from databases to players' inventory. For this purpose, I chose a Finnish national delicacy, pea soup, as our target item. In the game, this item is called canned pea soup and it belongs to category consumables. Now let's start tracking how this item ends up in the game and what processes there are along the way. The first phase is a cloud service or a server and the item database located in there. I personally use Google Drive, but the service provider itself does not matter in this case. The purpose of these databases is to store all data related to items. The main reason why databases are used is the ability to edit data quickly and externally without a game engine. This image shows an example of the database category consumables, and our target item, canned pea soup, and its data is displayed here. This example is a bit simplified for this video, but basically the data just contains the core information about our target item, such as file name, abbreviation, item type, rarity level, item description, and item stats like volume, weight, and trading value. Once the item data is stored in the cloud, the next step is to convert the data to a format that is readable in the game engine. In this example, the data format that I use is called CSV, which come from the words comma separated values. If we look at this data format, it's basically just comma separated text elements that can be read line by line. And here's our target item and its data. The next phase is probably the most technical of these, but the high level concept is still pretty simple to understand because it's just a matter of extracting the CSV file to the game engine. The official term for this next phase is CSV parsering, and for this purpose Road to Vostok uses custom middleware called database tool. This database tool is specifically made for this project and it's located inside the game engine. The tool reads the CSV file assigned to it and outputs the compatible item files to the game engine. This parsering phase is fully automated. The tool finds all the necessary files from the project and creates items directly to their correct loot tables for later use. If there's someone interested about the actual CSV parsering, here's a simplified code snippet for that. This code is from one of the old parsering systems I created for this game, but it's still very close to what I'm currently using. Now let's talk about our next phase, loot tables. Loot tables are basically just lists that contain different items. Items can be either manually pre-selected or directly generated and sorted through some item type category, like in this case. And here's our target item. It has been sorted to consumables, and all the item data from that CSV file is now fully usable inside the game engine. But there's one important thing to mention. Loot tables cannot be formed based on item types alone. They need to be individually configured, and there should be some logical implementation method to form them. The implementation method varies between each game idea, but Road to Vostok uses main and subcategorization in order to form the final loot table inside the game. For example, our target item canned pea soup belongs to civilian main category and food subcategory, so the final loot table for this specific item is going to be civilian food. The specific loot table is used when, for example, a player is looking for food from civilian kitchens. The main idea here is to produce loot tables that are logical and maintain immersion and realism related to looting and scavenging stuff. The last phase on our loot architecture deals with the generation of the individual items. There are basically 4 different ways in the game to get a single generated item, and each of these ways uses its own specific loot system. In this episode, I will only go through the container and pickup based systems, because traders and quests need their own dedicated devlog episode at some point. Let's start with the container based loot generation system. If we look at this system, the first is the generation type, then there are container stats, container name, container limits, loot tables, loot buckets, a thing called rarity roll, amount rolls, also known as picks, and then finally those generated items. This system may seem a bit confusing, but hopefully it will open up when we start generating some items. If you notice, the civilian loot table is already pre-configured for the system, so we are ready to generate and roll the dice. When I press the generation button at the top, few things will happen. First, the system distributed all those loot table items by their rarity level and formed so-called loot buckets. This means that there are now 2 common, 9 uncommon, 28 rare and 2 extremely rare civilian food items inside the loot generation system. Another thing that happened was that rarity roll. In practice, this is only a matter of determining a random number between 1 and 100. This is also known as RNG, which means randomized number generation. The RNG logic itself is quite simple. If the randomized number is between 1 and 25, we have a chance to find an item inside the container. So in this case, the probability to find an item is 25%. And as for item rarity, the lower the randomized number is, the more rare item is generated. There are of course a lot of other little details behind this, but for this video I think this is enough to understand the core of this rarity roll. So we got the number 32 from the first loot generation. The limit was 25, so this means no items this time. Let's try generating again. Number 72 this time. Still no luck for us. Let's generate again. This time we were lucky. We got the number 5 on the rarity roll. Let's see what happened. The first thing is that those container stats were updated and there's now 3 items inside the container. The loot generation system also calculated those amount rolls, which means how many items are selected in relation to their rarity level. Even though we got a good number from that rarity roll, these amount roll pick values were actually quite bad. These values indicate how many items can be selected from each loot bucket. In this case, we can pick 1 common item, 1 uncommon item, and also 1 rare item, because our rarity roll value was within that number 5 rare item threshold. One thing to notice is that our amount roll would allow to pick 1 extremely rare item, but it will not generate that because our rarity roll value would have to be number 1. But in any case, 3 items were generated for us from those loot buckets. These 3 items are in this case energy bar, canned tuna, and our target item, canned pea soup. This means that if a player finds this particular container inside the game world and opens it, he will find those items. Here's a demonstration. This container-based loot generation was the first way and system to find a specific item in the game. Next, let's look at that pickup-based loot simulation. This system is practically the same as the container one, but the generated items in this case are not UI based. They are generated directly as 3D objects in the game world. The main differences with this system are the simulation controls and simulation parameters, which affect how items are generated in the world. For demonstration purposes, let's use those same 3 items that we already generated in previous example. When items are simulated by the system, a generation point is first created that uses those predefined simulation parameters. After the generation point, items are spawned, their location and rotation is randomized, and they are placed in the world with physics. And here's a demonstration for actually picking up those 3D items. For this pickup-based loot simulation, it is important to understand that the simulation is dependent on the game world environment. This small example didn't take into account the 3D world and its colliders, but I will demonstrate this topic later on in this video. In summary, these were the key elements of the game's loot architecture. The goal here is that the developer is able to manage an item database externally without a game engine. This allows fast iteration, the ability to balance, update, and generate all the items in the game at once. For a survival game like Road to Vostok that will have hundreds of items in the future, I think loot architecture like this is a must-have solution. I think we can all agree that looting is one of the most important things to get right in a survival game. In my opinion, the first step is to understand the basics and as a developer ask yourself a question: what makes a fun looting experience? Although this question is rather subjective, it's still good to understand the key elements around this question. In many cases, the common mistake is to jump directly to programming of these mechanics, without actually thinking about their purpose in the big picture. There is this risk of getting into this tunnel vision, where you just focus on the code and the actual purpose of the mechanic itself is then easily forgotten. In this loot ideology chapter, I will try my best to answer this main question: what makes a fun looting experience? I will definitely show some video clips of these mechanics which are in the game, but the main goal here is to brainstorm about the purpose of these looting mechanics. Let's start by introducing 5 key elements that serve as the main pillars for enjoyable looting experience. These are non-repeating patterns, intuitive mechanics, rarity and progression, storage solutions, and bragging rights. Within each of these main pillars, there are 5 topics that are essential and linked to that developer goal mentioned at the bottom of each pillar. Unfortunately, in order to keep the duration of this episode reasonable, I'm not going to go through all of these one by one, but if you want to read all of these, you can pause the video here. For this episode, my plan is somehow to combine all of these into single keyword, which is easy to understand and which will answer our main question: what makes a fun looting experience? After thinking about this for a while, I would say that this one main keyword is scavenging, because if the theme of the game is post-apocalypse, scavenging is the most important and repeating action in the game. Now I'm going to brainstorm around this keyword and think about how it affects the whole looting experience. Let's start by going back to year 2013. I'm going to show you a small video clip of Daisy's first devlog video. The video clip is about a minute long. Pay attention what the video is trying to demonstrate to the player.
How can I even introduce this? Maybe I should just include this bit. Okay, I will. I think I will. Okay, this is the loot spawning mechanic. A very basic idea of it. Essentially what I've done is I placed some loot spawners specifically just for the little cans of beans that everyone who's played Daisy, the mod, will be very used to. One of the problems that we had in the mod was you'd just go around and you'd find these little piles of loot, and you'd run into the building and see if there was a pile of loot, and if you didn't see any piles, you very quickly move on to the other building. So I wanted to get completely away from that and really make it feel like you were scavenging the environment. So we'll head inside this building and hopefully it gives a good idea of what I mean. So the idea is that loot can spawn like behind an object, like you see this can here. So you really have to get quite dynamic about looking around and trying to find the items. So it's really it's a totally different, totally different experience. So I'll grab that because I really like my beans. So yeah, so the idea is that when you're going into these buildings, you're really going to have to scavenge and find stuff located in really difficult to find places. And someone might have come through and cleaned out most of a place, but might have missed, something that spawned, say, behind the TV or something like that. So I really think it's going to add a lot to the dynamic of.
My take on what this video clip is trying to demonstrate is the phrase scavenging the environment, which basically means that you should actually find stuff rather than just seeing some obvious pile of loot in the middle of the floor. Even though Dean Hall doesn't work for DayZ anymore, I think his initial thought process around scavenging was quite good already back in 2013. It has been almost 10 years since that devlog video. Based on that video, I decided to jump back into DayZ and test the current scavenging experience of the game. I played the game about half an hour and took a screenshot inside every house I entered. Now let's look at those screenshots. I want to start by saying that the original Arma2 DayZ mod is one of the main reasons I started developing games. I'm one of the biggest fans of the game. I really respect the developers.
I'll stop right there for a second. I love that he did this, like he's showing this, because this is like really important, by the way.
And I hope all the best for this game, but in all honesty, the looting experience in this game currently is pretty far from the phrase scavenging the environment. I know that DayZ is practically an MMORPG, and there are server-related limitations on the number and placement of items. But in any case, the looting experience remains exactly the level that the devlog video clip tried to avoid, meaning there's obvious pile of loot in the middle of the floor, or then there's simply nothing to scavenge. Next, I will present my own solution on how to improve that scavenging experience. In that previous loot architecture chapter, I quickly showed how this pickup-based loot simulation system works. Now let's
This is where it gets interesting, so pay attention.
take this system to slightly more appropriate environment and see how it can improve the scavenging experience. For this purpose, I made this simple example room to demonstrate this loot simulation system. When I add this simulation component to this room, the system automatically calculates the bounding box of the room so it can determine the median point and then assigns the generation point to that. Once the generation point is placed, the system goes through this simulation process like described earlier, but this time let's look at this simulation a bit more closely. When I press the generate button, items are spawned, their location and rotation is randomized. In this example, let's use these white cubes first to make it easier to visualize. Next, I will press that simulation button a couple of times. Pay attention what happens when the simulation is now inside the room with colliders. If I want to change the behavior of the simulation, I can change the simulation parameters and, for example, add more force or change the gravity values. Now when these first steps are demonstrated, we can proceed directly to auto simulation mode, which performs these previous steps automatically.
All right, see, now this is important. This is like what DayZ did not do. They said they were going to do it, like he showed in the video, but it just didn't end up like that. Anybody that plays DayZ knows you go in a building and like shit's just laying in a couple places. You know either what you want is going to be in there or it's not. You know where to look at for the shit that you want. This game, however, is going to do it different. Every time when you approach a building, what you see, what he's showed here, this is going to be happening before you even walk into that building.
And this is what the auto simulation looks like in first person. Let's change these white cubes for some realistic items. We can for example use those canned beans what was used in the DayZ devlog episode. Now when the items have realistic dimensions, we begin to see how these items hide in the environment. This loot simulation system is one of my solutions to term scavenging the environment and how it could be approached in a hardcore survival game like Road to Vostok. This system is fully compatible with all the houses and buildings in the game, and it's also randomized between different rooms. Some rooms may have this loot simulation component while others may not. The parameters of the simulation are also randomized, and there may even be a situation where there are multiple different simulations in one big room. Next, let's talk about other things related to houses and scavenging. In my opinion, survival games should create these some sort of surprising situations in order to break out looting routines. Because if you imagine breaking into someone's house, it should involve something you aren't prepared for, because the house and its surroundings is totally unknown to you. I think one simple idea for making this surprise element is the randomization associated with the house entrances. I'm not going to explain all of these, but here's a couple of randomization options to illustrate this ideology. A system like this is really easy to implement, and the randomization associated with the doors and windows alone bring that little surprise element to scavenging and looting routines. The last topic I want to discuss related to scavenging is interactivity. Here's another screenshot from DayZ. In terms of looting and scavenging, I think there's one problem in this image. The main problem is that nothing in this image is actually lootable. There's no looting related interactivity, so player has no reason to look for anything. This topic is definitely a bit subjective, but in my opinion, survival games should provide players the opportunity to interact and search items from these container-like props, because in reality they would be main storage places for items. One survival game that solves this problem perfectly is Project Zomboid. In Zomboid there is pickup system for individual items, but also this awesome container system which basically allows everything that even remotely looks like a container and could store items to be interactive and lootable. I believe that more interactivity there is in the game, the more room it gives for immersion and freedom to enjoy the game world. For this reason, I have tried to mimic that Project Zomboid ideology where everything is interactive and lootable. Here's a few clips to demonstrate this.
All right, so this is really interesting too, so pay attention to this as well. I don't know how many of you guys are actually, has anybody actually been sitting here watching this the whole time? Because this is how this demo should be running when we launch it and play. And like looting is so important when it comes to these open world survival games that I think he's done a really good job with this looting system. If it actually does work the way that he's shown in this video, it should be very unique from like other games that we've played in the past. And I know, I'm gonna stop right there for a second. I know like there's no animations when he's doing this stuff right now, but we gotta remember like this is like super early development. I'd imagine, well, I know that he'll add animations in the future. This is just like the ground, the basics, the core mechanics to the game and how it's gonna work. Animations can be added easily down the road. These are just like, there's no placeholder yet.
An important element that is also part of interactivity is physics and freedom to place items wherever you want. For example, the survival game The Long Dark allows you to place items under certain rules and conditions. This item placement system allows you to store and shelf items visually, which is strongly linked to prepper culture and survival in general.
All right, I've never played the Long Dark, but I watched this video a couple times in the past, but I like this right here. I like how this works.
In my opinion, this is an extremely important mechanic for a survival game. Here's one clip from the previous work in progress video to demonstrate this.
I'm not sure why you'd want to pick up stuff and lay it down, but maybe there'll be some use to it. We'll see. But this is something that I do wish was like in DayZ. Because right now you just pick up stuff and you like throw it somewhere. It would actually be very useful in DayZ.
I think system like this will provide pretty cool ways to decorate and customize your shelter, for example. You can place items and weapons wherever you want without any restrictions. And to emphasize this, interactivity equals immersion and freedom. Logically, the next phase in this episode would be looting related UIs and inventory systems, for example. But these are topics that will have their own devlog episode at some point, so I think our loot ideology and scavenging journey ends here. However, if you haven't seen that first introduction devlog episode yet, here's that small video clip where I demonstrated the current UI and some basic looting.
Also, question, anybody that's watching, you guys like this UI? How this UI works right here, what we're seeing? Curious to how fluent it will be while playing.
At the end of this chapter, I would like to mention that this was just the tip of the iceberg. The loot ideology and its elements that I have designed for this game contain some really unique stuff, but unfortunately these things didn't all fit into this one video. But I will definitely return to this in some other devlog episode. At the start of this video, I promised that there would be some positive news that I could share with you. Well, I've been a game dev teacher for the last 4 years. Working as a teacher has been a full-time job for me, which means that everything so far related to Road to Vostok has been done completely in my spare time, so basically evenings, nights and weekends. The drive to the school where I worked also took quite a bit of time. Practically every weekday for the past 4 years, I drove 75 kilometers per direction, which means 150 kilometers in total per day. This crazy daytime teacher, nighttime developer roller coaster for me ends now. Last time I resigned myself from the military, and this time I decided to resign myself from this teacher job. Starting from June 1st, 2022, I will work as a full-time developer for Road to Vostok. There is always a risk in everything, but a project like this requires a bit of risk taking.
Yeah, this guy, this developer, man, I give him big props. I've been following this channel since it had like under 100 subscribers, and this dude has fucking developed this game to this where we're at right now, the demo launch. He has developed this shit so fast, it's almost crazy how fast he's developed. And it's like, it just looks so good, and like, I don't know, the mechanics seem like they're going to be really good as well. I'm really interested to see how this game plays. I mean, for a single person to get this far that fast, I mean, goddamn, it's a lot of work, man. Dude's been busting his ass.
And personally, this is a perfect time for me to do this. I consider myself a pretty productive person, and I believe that this will create a lot of new opportunities for the project when I get to focus only on the game development for the first time in my life. The goal for this project remains the same as I described in that first devlog episode. I'm going to develop the best hardcore survival game out there, and I don't see any obstacles for this goal. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode. By the way, the next track you're about to hear is custom made for this game.
And there's a soundtrack. This dude's a beast, man. Is it launched today? Yes, the launch for the demo will be in about, let's see. The demo will be launched in about 25 minutes. Yeah, it's the demo. It's not going to be it's not a full game download, no. Just a demo. Not sure how much content will be in this demo, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna put on another video. Yep, the demo is today. Also, anybody that wants to join our Discord, I'm gonna post a link right now into the channel. You guys can head on over there. Be talking more about the game. Also, we stream live every day. And if you're not following the channel, please press that subscribe button, man. It helps a lot. All right, let's look at the next video. What's the next video we gotta see here? We got about 20 minutes until this video goes live right here, the playtest video, and then we'll be able to download and see what's up. Yeah, I'm excited, dude. Let's watch the introduction. How about that? Watch the introduction. Go ahead and throw that on for you guys, and we'll go over this. How about that?
Hi, welcome to Road to Vostok devlog episode 1. My name is Antti. I'm a Finnish game developer and a former army officer who decided to resign in order to make video games. This devlog is a behind-the-scenes documentary series about the survival game that I've been working on called Road to Vostok. Road to Vostok is a hardcore single-player survival game set in a post-apocalyptic border zone between Finland and Russia. With this devlog series, I will be showcasing the current progress and the features of the game. I would also like to share some game development tips and tricks that I have learned through these years of making video games. In this introduction episode, I'm going to cover 6 different topics: background, game design, core mechanics, visual style, development tools, and finally a roadmap for the game. About 10 years ago, I found this game called Arma 2 DayZ mod. I was instantly hooked to post-apocalyptic survival game genre and decided that I want to learn how to make video games. I downloaded Unity game engine and tried game development for the first time. I had absolutely zero knowledge and quickly found out that making video games is actually really hard and way more complicated than I originally thought. So I took a little detour from this dream of becoming a game developer. I joined the military through Finland's conscript service. I eventually became a platoon leader and even applied to Finnish National Defense University. I graduated from there and ended up serving as an army lieutenant. After being in the military for almost 5 years, I made a risky move and decided to resign in order to pursue a career in the game industry, which indeed was my true passion. I started by learning the basic principles of game design and then taught myself a wide range of game development skills like 3D modeling, shader development, C# programming, and pretty much everything there is to learn about this Unity game engine. After that, I did tons of small solo game projects, became a freelancer by selling 3D game assets, and also started working as a visual game design teacher in a private school. I have been teaching game development for nearly 4 years now. I have taught over 100 game dev students and mentored over 200 student game projects. But even though there are a lot of positives of being a teacher, my true goal was still to become a full-time solo game developer. So I took the next logical step and started working on this ambitious survival game idea in order to achieve that goal. I had basically all the skills needed in order to make this large-scale survival game, but first I wanted to make sure that I had a solid game idea, so I decided to go through this 1-year pre-production phase. During this pre-production phase, I remembered and wrote notes from my personal military experiences. I revisited and studied some of my favorite survival and FPS games. I developed different prototypes and tried different visual styles. And finally, I designed workflows and tools that would speed up the upcoming main production phase. After this year of pre-production, I had a clear vision and a solid foundation to build upon. And this ends my background and the story of how and why I started making this game. Road to Vostok is a hardcore survival game, which main idea is based on this dangerous and mysterious zone called Vostok. This idea of a dangerous zone is commonly used in video games, and I will try to explain some of my game design elements with 3 zone-related examples. The first one is the Stalker franchise. In Stalker, you explore this alternative Chernobyl exclusion zone, where the zone is filled with dangers like mutants, anomalies and hostile factions. Typically, the game's primary goal is to reach to the center of the zone, but that's not required in order to have fun in the game. The real fun, in my opinion, is the zone itself. Inside the zone, there are so many atmospheric environments, mysteries and characters, and narrative opportunities you often actually forgot that you are in this mission to reach to the center of the zone. I really like this idea that you basically have an initial goal, but it's not the main point of the game. The game world itself should be the main selling point and a sandbox for storytelling. The second example is RuneScape and its wasteland zone called the Wilderness. The Wilderness is a North region part of the game world. It's a PvP focused, high risk, high reward zone and easily one of the most dangerous places in the game. The Wilderness contains hostile players and monsters and is also separated from the safer areas by a wall or a ditch. The key element of this zone is the risk, because if you die in the Wilderness, whether it's from a player or a monster, you will lose all or most of your items and stuff you were carrying. In this example, compared to the Stalker one, the most compelling design element for me is the high risk, high reward ideology. In terms of map design, I also like the clear separation of the dangers and the safe zones. The dangerous zone is bordered and it acts like a forbidden fruit. It's compelling, and if you enter the zone, you know the penalty you may suffer if you die. The third example is from DayZ. In DayZ there is this area known as NWAF, which stands for Northwest Airfield. Located in the northwest corner of the map, this high-tier loot area contains the largest military base and airfield in DayZ, and it's also probably the most dangerous place in the game, thanks to hostile players called bandits. This dangerous airfield area is a natural player progression goal and basically acts like a funnel because new players are typically spawned on the southeast shoreline on the map, and after some initial looting they are headed inland towards these high-tier loot areas. I remember when playing the original Arma 2 DayZ mod. I had always this preparation phase where I would loot, plan and prepare before heading into this dangerous airfield. Back then, the journey to this airfield area was one of the main thrill of the game, and design wise I really liked this prepare for the dangerous journey idea. These 3 examples are the main inspiration for Road to Vostok, and here's my plan how I'm going to implement these design elements to my game idea. The game world will be divided into 3 main zones. These are called Area 5, Border Zone and Vostok. Area 5 is a relatively low risk starting zone, Border Zone is basically a transition zone, and Vostok is that dangerous and mysterious high risk zone, which is mostly designed for endgame content and main goal for the player. The The playable game world itself is made from individual maps which are unique areas within the current zone and based on real world locations. These maps are connected to each other and you can transition between maps by using transition points found inside each map. Transition points are mostly things like roads, paths, passages or tunnels, and they will be always available to player. Each map will also have a difficulty rating in terms of NPC AI, and the idea is that when you travel east and towards Vostok, the game will get harder but the loot will get better. However, between Area 5 and Vostok, there is this guarded border zone and a physical border. This border can only be crossed by using so-called crossing points. Each of these crossing points will have a unique game mechanic and a certain level of risk associated with them. For example, some crossing points are quite abandoned and require just basic map knowledge or tools, while other crossing points are always fully guarded and require good combat or stealth skills from the player. But before heading into any of these crossing points, you would most likely want to do some initial looting and preparing for this dangerous journey to Vostok. For this purpose, the Area 5 will have shelters, which are basically safe areas and places to store loot, but they are all different in terms of size and customizability. For example, some shelter may be a spacious and cozy cabin, while other might be claustrophobic and dirty drain pipe. Then we get into some of the hardcore elements of the game. These shelters are basically like isolated checkpoints, and they are the only way to save your game. If you die in Area 5 outside of the shelter, you will lose your gear and your inventory items, but everything that is stored in these shelters is still saved. In Vostok, however, you will only have one shelter, and this shelter is quite different from those in Area 5. This shelter is meant to be hidden and the location is randomized in each game, so it's also unique to every player. The shelter can be used for storing loot and saving your game, just like in Area 5, but this shelter isn't customizable and it's quite opposite from being a safe area.
Okay, so this is like how the borders and different sides of the map work, is exactly what he's saying right here. I was wondering how that worked.
Also, the moment you cross the border by using a crossing point and enter Vostok, you are inside the permanent zone. If you die in Vostok, you will lose absolutely everything, including your shelter items and save files. And
so is that permadeath?
Like mentioned before, this whole concept is going to be based on real-world locations, and this specific border zone area can be found in southeastern Finland. I have lived near this area for most of my life, and this border zone is pretty much perfect setting for a post-apocalyptic survival game. This area is filled with military history. There is bunkers, anti-tank obstacles, trenches and fortifications pretty much all over the place. If you want to learn more about this area, by searching the term Salpaline, you can find pretty interesting content and military history of this place. Core mechanics are systems in the game, which are a key part of the main game loop. These mechanics are all important to the game, but in my opinion, it's wise to have some level of priority in terms of development time and resources. In Road to Vostok I have basically two priority levels, Prior 1 and Prior 2. Prior 1 mechanics should be best in class systems with high amount of testing and development time associated with them.
Alright guys, just pause right there for a minute. We got about 8 minutes until the new video goes live and the demo goes live, so just get ready.
Compared against other similar games in the genre, these Prior 1 mechanics should stand out and be appealing to the player.
I'll be watching the video live too. As soon as it happens, we'll watch it on my channel.
Prior 2 mechanics, in other hand, are also important and have to be included in the game, but they are not required for having fun in the game. The main idea is that the game should be fun to play with just Prior 1 mechanics, and Prior 2 mechanics are just additional layers on top of that core game loop. In this devlog episode, I will only showcase the current progress of the Prior 1 mechanics. Even though these mechanics are far from being production ready, this following clip should demonstrate the gameplay direction that this game is going to have.
Should be a banger, that's for sure. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Five minutes countdown, 5-minute countdown.
These prior one examples were still pretty basic mechanics. Much more will be added to them, but the gameplay feeling is already enjoyable, which is definitely a good sign. I will be showcasing more of these features and prior 2 mechanics as well in upcoming devlog episodes.
All right, guys, let's stop it right there. The live video is getting ready to go off. We got about 1 minute, I think. All right, let's get on here and watch. Don't need chat. All right. While we wait, we hydrate. Let's go ahead and... Oh shit, countdown, 60 seconds. I'm excited. Anybody else here really excited to see what this game's all about? All right, any second now. The world premiere.
Мы больше ничего не знаем о происходящем. Эвакуация района началась. Посторонних людей просят держаться внутри помещений. Положение на границе очень тревожное. Никто не знает, что происходит на самом деле.
Welcome to Road to Vostok Public Demo 1. My name is Antti, I'm the developer of Road to Vostok. Road to Vostok is a long-term project, and this demo represents the project's first milestone. The purpose of this demo is to expose me as a developer to your feedback. It's easy to make videos and show off cool features, but actually testing them out in a public is completely different matter. I believe that the project is ready to move this stage now. Another thing that this demo hopefully represents is commitment and trust. As a developer, I see that this demo serves as an initial measure of how well I can manage development progress, scheduling, and commitment to agreed deadlines. In terms of trust, I hope that this demo will increase the credibility of the project and potential in its future development. This demo also taught me a lot of new perspectives about commercial production and ways to even improve production speed in the future. A good side is also that making this demo did not create any so-called production fatigue in myself as a developer. This only increased my motivation and passion towards the next milestone and the actual core content of the game. This demo does not yet represent the vision of the game. This is not an alpha, this is not a beta, this is just a small addition to the transparency of the project. Based on these points of view and in relation to the stage of the production, I feel that this demo has been successful for me personally, whatever the feedback on the demo may be. Then to the demo itself and its release. At first, I thought about explaining everything and why some systems are still unfinished or why some bugs exist, but I decided that I'm not going to do that. I don't want to start giving excuses for why something doesn't work or if there's missing features, because everything will be fixed and improved in time. So I think if something is broken, it's completely understandable at this point. I'm just going to quickly show where the demo is good to start with and what the main content of the demo is. When you go from the main menu to the demo, you end up in this sandbox map. In this sandbox, everything necessary is shown with the help of these signs. First, there is a small welcome sign and available controls. After this, you will find instructions for testing the container system and placeholder items. Then there are some weapons and brief explanation of how the AI spawner works in this demo. And finally, there's the project roadmap and instructions on how to give feedback regarding the demo. When you feel that the basic movement, controls and demo settings are okay, you can take weapons with you and move to the demo version of the village, which is currently an example map for the visuals of the game. I believe that this is enough as a starting point and there is no need for any separate tutorials or anything like that. The demo will be released after this video, but first I would like to say a couple of things. First of all, I'm currently having a lot of fun and enjoying full-time development, which I've been hoping for since 2012. The next milestone will be public demo 2, but I will update this first demo at some point before that and show improved mechanics, new features and production-ready village map with all the assets. I think now the game has most of the core mechanics in terms of playability, and next I will take the game towards its vision where the progression and survival are the key elements. Production will continue as usual with more YouTube videos and project-related news already next month. Finally, I have thought a little about what kind of developer I want to be and what kind of path I want to create for this project. I have decided that this project's path will deviate a little from the normal commercial game production. I'm going to make some decisions which seem a little bit stupid in a commercial sense at this point, but I believe that these decisions will have positive effects in the long run, and this is fine for me because I'm not in a hurry, and in general I believe that gaming industry needs more of this attitude because not everything can be measured in money.
Smart man.
So related to this mindset, one decision that I made is to release most of this demo's visual assets for free to everyone. These assets are custom made by me for Road to Vostok, but now they will be licensed under Creative Commons 0, meaning they are now public domain, so you can use them freely without any restrictions forever. Whether you're a game developer like me, artist, hobbyist or just curious about these assets, they will be available for download on itch.io at the same time the demo goes public. If you like my approach to game development and want to support me and this project, consider joining Road to Vostok Patreon. You get access to weekly exclusive content, updates and some other files. All the links to the demo, assets and Patreon can be found in the video description. I hope you have a great time testing the demo. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.
All right, it's time to go download the demo. Let's go do it, guys. I'll download it right now. I like this guy's I like the way he's doing this, going about all this. There's a lot of shady people in this industry, and he definitely does not seem like one of those people. All right, I'm downloading the demo now. All right, this is it. You saw it here first. So, okay, so far I like Tarkov. Movement. There's definitely some inertia. I like it. Feels good. Feels real good. Definitely some inertia though. All right. These are just placeholders. It's got lean keys. Movement feels great, yeah. Let's keep it on standards. This is the demo. I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, it reminds me of Tarkov a lot, dude. DayZ vibe. It's even got a little stalker vibe to it too. It's unique. I like it. I don't think the game should be like DayZ, or it should be like a straight up Tarkov. It should be its own unique thing, and I think it's, so far it seems like it's doing a good job of that. Does it have a zoom? Like a DayZ zoom? I think it's important that we also remember this is really early access. feels good though. Let's try the M1, the M4. I keep trying to press F to pick up the guns, but it's the wheel button. How do I bring out the M4? Oh yeah, the control board's over here. Good call, good call. Alright, M4. We're looking for a primary. How do we get primary out? Number 1? There we go. Nice, nice. All right, so it looks like when we press X, we bring up this menu. I'm gonna find out more about this weapon UI menu. Ooh, I need to turn the need to turn that down a bit, that sensitivity. Scope sensitivity, let's put that at like 2. See how that feels. A little more. So this is Stalker set in Finland? Not really. It is in Finland though, yeah. How do we change the fire rate? There's the laser. Sprint is control, run is shift, crouch, Z is prone. Which isn't working for whatever reason. I think I gotta be crouched first. Flashlight. Yeah, the scope rendering feels nice. High, low. Ah, okay, that's how you do hip fire. You just scroll your wheel. I like that. Damn, look at that recoil. I like this high low ready. The recoil feels good. Could use a little bit of tweaking, but I say overall it's pretty good so far. Let's try the AK. Yeah, fire rate is F. Recoil looks a little bit weird, just saying. I mean, we got to remember, this isn't even an alpha, this isn't even a beta, this is just a really rough demo. So I'm going into this not expecting much except core solid game mechanics, which seem to be really good so far. All right, is there a free look button? Any free look? I don't see one. Recoil depends on arm strength. Oh, yeah, I see top left. Yep, you're right. We got to also remember this is an MMO, so there's going to be shit that's not even in the game yet, which will affect everything later down the line. It's just a really early look at the game, so I'm not being, like, super judgmental. I think what he's got here so far is, like, pretty good. This is low stance here. This is high. This is like ADS. This is like high ready, low ready. High ready, low ready. What other weapon haven't we tried yet? The shotgun? All right, you guys ready? Let's go into the war. Let's go into this fucking world. See what's up. Okay, that's like Stalker. You load into a place. I like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is good. Let's actually turn up the ambience. Yeah, it's my internet connection is dropping frames. Fuck. Okay, F. I mean, not F. That's where we came from, boys. You see any loot? Let me know if you guys see any loot. I mean, dude, this is like... This feels really good, dude. Very immersive. Oh, there goes some loot. I think the demo will be up permanently. He said he'll be updating it later. Like a couple months from now. But yeah, the update isn't going anywheres. Let's see what's in this shed. Very immersive. Very, very immersive. Alright, guys. Can somebody do exclamation point Discord in the chat? So we can put a link to my Discord in the chat. Nightbot should post it. For anybody that wants to join. Thank you, Tropical. I appreciate that, bro. I don't think it's an extraction, Willie, is it? I don't have to extract, do I? There's different points. I mean, does this take me to a different area, you think? I don't think there's NPCs in here. I think it's just like a mechanic demo, right? Someone's living. Empty. I don't think there's AI in the game. This is just like a mechanic demo. I could be wrong though. There might be AI, but I have not seen any. You can spawn AI. Oh, let's go back and look. This demo uses AI spawner. Endlessly spawn AI on the map. F1. you want to learn how to use the weapons, just look at the menus. All right, let's go try to spawn some AI. All right, Tropical. Appreciate you coming by, bro. Sorry for the frame drops in the stream. My internet service is being a fucking pain in the ass right now. When I press the AI spawner, it's like not even doing anything. How do you use the gun? You just take it. You pick it up by pressing middle mouse wheel. And once you pick it up, you put it goes in your inventory. You just double click it and it will go over to your inside your inventory. Come out, press number 1. Bam, there's your gun. That's how you use the gun. Pretty simple. But when I press the spawn AI, it just brings up this menu. I don't see what's going on. It's not working for you? Oh, shit. Holy shit. Can't figure out how to equip the gun. What do I press in my inventory? So when you're in your inventory like this, you just press. Drag. You can't drag it. You got to just press it, double click it, and it will bring it over to your primary. Exit your inventory by pressing escape. And then press number 1, and bam, your gun's on you. You pick up the weapon from the outside world by pressing middle mouse wheel. That's how you get it into your inventory. Middle mouse wheel is like F for most games. It's how you interact with things with middle mouse. I'm not understanding. Does anybody know how to get the AI to spawn in? I can't get AI to spawn in. Maybe that's one of the things that weren't working. Well, he said some things weren't going to be working. Maybe that was one of them. I don't know. Let's go back and see what it says. This demo uses AI spawner that endlessly spawn enemies into the map. When you go to the map, there are no enemies at first. Enemies only appear when you activate the spawner. You can activate the AI spawner from the demo menu F1. The maximum number is 3. This is what happens when I press F1. Yeah, this game's gonna be lit. I really do like it. Even though it's really early, I think it's a good foundation right now. All right, let's try again. My internet is just fucking dying on me. All right, I pressed F1. So maybe there's AI here now. I don't know. We'll go look. When is the game fully released? Go to their website, roadtovostok.com. I think he has it listed on there. There's a link in the description of my description that has the website with all the information on that type of stuff. Click F1, top left. All right, this is what F1 does for me. Now what, Joe? That's what F1 does. What do I do now? Where do you see AI spawner at? Am I overlooking it? Oh. Oh shit. Dual render scope. Should I turn that on? Hey, nobody said I was the fucking smartest guy here, okay? Alright, it's on. Where are these fuckers at? God, that fucking scope looks so good, dude. And look, you lose no frames. Like Tarkov, I'd fucking lose all my frames. Shit looks so good. What up, Vendetta? How you been, bro? How you been? Yeah, where's Rashala at? Good shit. Oh, shit! Bro, where's my pistol? Oh! Oh shit! Yeah, this guy ain't got shit on him. Got a nice gun though. If I press G, I want to know how this works. Guess this is how you will add attachments when they come into play. There should be one more around here. All right. Let's go back and then come back in so we spawn more. Why can't I ADS? Am I bugged? Won't let me ADS. Yeah, I think I'm bugged. I'm hand bugged. Maybe this is what the bug you guys are experiencing. All right, let's reload the game. We'll reload the game. I'm definitely bugged right there. It's all right, dude. It's made with Unity? Holy shit. Wonder why I went with Unity. I guess because it's a single player game. All right, it's working again now. Hell yeah. You don't like the reloading? It's because there's no placeholder. There's no animation for reloading yet. It's because the game's really... It's really, 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 really new. You know what I mean? It's not... What you're seeing here is just the rough mechanics of the game. So don't be worried about that too much. Hey guys, can somebody do an exclamation point Discord in the chat so we can get a link to my Discord so all you beautiful people can come by and say what's up? Love to have you all there. Would love to see it. I appreciate everybody coming by and watching me play this. My mediocre gaming skills. Thank you, Apollo. Yeah, just click that link if you want to come by, hang out, meet some new people. Play some Tarkov, DayZ, game together. There should be AI here. They're hiding somewhere. I'm out of stamina. They were right here last time. I don't know. They spawned somewhere else. Maybe they're inside a building. There they are. Yeah, I know the stream is being... It's... My fucking internet sucks, dude. That's what's going on. It works the whole entire stream that we've been live. It's been fine. As soon as the demo becomes available to play, it starts taking a shit. Oh, I didn't even see this area up here. I want to loot him. Where's his body at? Oh! Yeah, it's free to play. How you been, Rhino? Yeah, I think it's a bug, Sleepy. Definitely a bug going on with that. I just had it with ADS and I couldn't ADS. I had to restart. Oh, shit. Where's he at? I don't hear him no more. Guys, what button is the laser pointer again? You're all good, bro. You're here now. That's all that matters. Fuck did this guy go at? Oh shit. Got him. How do you take the weapon out of your hands? Like, you just go like this and click the weapon in your inventory, and it will take it out of your hands. That's it. That's all you gotta do. I know this person is on every single YouTube streamer. This fucking... Oh, shit. This person's on. Oh, shit. I don't have a weapon in my hands. Because that dude that told me to fucking... Can't do what in the game? Dude, this internet is pissing me off. I want you guys to be able to watch this shit clean, but I just keep dropping frames. Transfer. Hold on. I want to figure out how to do this. How do I transfer? Oh, there we go. I don't know if I like that. Oh, shit. Where you at, little sneaky fuck? Oh! I kind of let him do that, though. I let him do that, guys. I wanted to see how the death animation worked there. It's alright. What gun do we use? I know. I wonder if I have to start streaming in just 1080p. I wonder if that will help at all. What gun you guys want me to use here this time? My bit rate is set to 12,000. And I'm supposed to be getting 40 upload. And 1,000 download. MP5, alright. Cool. I wonder what how do you heal in this game? I don't think that is like mechanics in the game yet. For YouTube or is that for Twitch? Either way, I have enough power. Like, my upload should be enough for me to run 12,000 bitrate. But yeah, I'm gonna, let's go ahead and put it at 9,000 and see if that helps at all. I dropped the bitrate down to 9,000. I hate to ask, but I can't find out how to move the guns to use. How do you hold the gun? All right, so I'm going to explain some stuff here for you. All right. So this is your inventory. To pick up the gun, use the middle mouse button. When you see it, interact with it, you press in middle mouse button, the roll up button. Once it's in your inventory over here, you then double click it with left mouse button, and it will put it in your primary. Once it's in your primary, exit out of the UI and press the number 1 and it will put it into your hands. Once the weapon is in your hands, there's 2 different ways you can use this weapon. You can scroll with the middle mouse button to have low ready to ready, and you can also ADS by clicking right mouse button. That is how you use the weapons in this game. No problem, dude. Yep, no problem. Oh, shit! Sneaky breaky. Ryan, it is that since I lowered the bitrate, does the quality look like way worse? Is it even is it hard to tell? I lowered it to 9,000. Yeah, dude, I think that might have been the issue. I'll see. We will see. Should be 2 more AI around here. I put it on 9,000, not 8,000. If we have more issues, I'll try 8,000. Maybe 9's the sweet spot for my setup. I mean, I'm on a 2 PC setup. I should be able to run 12,000, but seems like my internet keeps losing. Like, it's not staying consistently at 40 upload. It's like dropping down to like 20, 25 and shit. What do you got? Oh, he's got, what is this? Anybody know how to use this stuff? Narcotics. Oh shit! Fuck, I'm 25 HP. An item object within the game world can be collected by a player or non-player. So I think it's just like a placeholder. Don't think none of that can really be used yet. Nice kill. Thanks, dude. Still at 100 condition. Is that prism scope? It looks like the Daisy prism scope, doesn't it? Let's go up here and see what's going on. Oh, there's one. What's he doing? I hear somebody by me too, creeping. Oh shit. Oh, nice shot, dude. That's AI for you. Nice reflexes. Yeah, they're all right. For 34 years old, I still got decent reflexes, I guess. Probably because I smoked too much weed. How you doing today, though, man? How you been? How's your Monday going? Appreciate you stopping by, too. Oh, yeah, there's the link to the Discord, guys. Click that Discord button. Come hang out with the boys or girls. How do you equip guns? So I'm getting this question. A lot of people are coming in here asking this question. I'll go to this house and I'll explain how to do the equipped weapons and all that. Fuck. I gotta get in this room. I don't want AI to kill me. Okay, all these rooms have big windows and shit. Alright. So to equip weapons, you go like this. When you see the weapon laying on the table, you just walk over to it and interact with it. You press down the middle wheel button on your mouse. Once you press down, you'll pick up the weapons. They'll end up in your inventory like this. When you're in your inventory, you press tab, I think it is. And when you get into here, double click on the weapon. Double click on the weapon that you want to use, and it will go over to your primary. Exit out of the inventory by pressing escape. And press the number 1, and it will bring your weapon to your hands. Then there's 2 different ways to hold this weapon. You can scroll the wheel up, and you'll be in the low ready position. And you can also press right mouse button for ADS. That is how you pick up and use weapons in Road to Vostok. Yeah, if you're bugged out and that's not working, restart the game and just do what I told you all over again. Because there is a bug that will make it so that doesn't work. Fuck, I'm out of stamina. That's a bug. Whenever I'm out of stamina, I can still just keep jumping. I shouldn't be able to do that. It's the old CSGO bunny hop. What the fuck? Why did his face turn white? I almost knocked my coffee cup on the ground when I did that. That was funny, dude. Fucking CSGO bunny hop. I wanna, where's controls? B and V, okay. Oh, you can make it so, okay. Oh shit, I made it dark. Where is he? I think I'm bugged again. No, I'm not. I hear one more. Damn, dude. The fuck? That dude killed me so quick. Alright, how do we make it morning again? Nighttime, there we go. The flashlight. Let's do a night run. God, those crickets are so loud, dude. Okay. I can't do a night run. Too loud. Can I zoom in? Dropping frames again, Rhino. No, pick that shit up. Fuck. There we go. Desync. Do a dusk. We'll do a dawn. We'll do a dawn. Where the fuck are they? Yeah, they have a devlog. There's a YouTube channel. He goes really into depth with everything. If you start my stream from the beginning, we watch every single video, every single devlog. If you want to start the stream from the beginning, I literally go over everything. I think they're up at the power station. Let's go up there. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Ah, fuck, fuck. They're shooting at me through rocks. Very immersive, Mark. Matt. Very immersive. The game, the mechanics, the core game mechanics are really good as well. Oh shit. I'm gonna die. I only got 25% health. It's important to remember though that this is a very early version of the game, so it's not a polished game. This isn't even a beta or alpha. This is just a really rough demo. But what they have so far, I can tell you right now, this game's gonna go places. Surely. It's gonna be a popular game. The AI flank you, so it might be coming from behind me. Fuck, he did flank me. Fuck, dude. See, AI and other games don't flank you like that right there. Jesus Christ. But yeah, let me turn that down for a minute. Yeah, the mechanics of the game are really solid. The AI, they're not super polished, but for this being not even a fucking beta or an alpha, just like a straight up like demo, like here, this is how the mechanics are for the game. The AI like flank you and shit, dude. It's crazy. For one dev, it's a single person dev working on this game. For him to have gotten this far in like 6 months, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, guys, join the Discord. Come hang out and become a part of the community. Rhino, can you do exclamation Discord in the chat so we can get all these fine people a link to our Discord to join us? Exclamation point Discord. Somebody could write that in chat, please. Stay up to date with this game and meet some good friends played like Tarkov, Daisy, maybe even this game in the future. I don't know where they're at. I'll go up to the power station. Maybe they're up here. Fuck. On semi-fire. Oh shit. They're pinching me. Gotta get my stamina back up. Oh, so you gotta drop your gun to get your arm stamina back. To low. I think he's over here somewhere. My God. I think so. I hear somebody, I think. Super immersive. This game's really, really immersive. I'm loving it. I wish I had a sniper rifle. Alright, let's go back to the starting menu and get a sniper. Do some sniping. We'll get a pistol and we'll get a sniper rifle. Do a little bit of sniping. How about that? There we go. All right. Oh shit! Reading the text message. Don't kill me. He almost killed me. Yeah, man. think it's a pretty cool game. I think it's a pretty cool game with a lot of potential. Good test demo. What do you guys think? Thoughts, anyone? Yeah, it's pretty crazy what one guy can do in like 6 months. Got that right. That's actually a good point. And he's got, I think he said he had 10 years of experience in game development. It's pretty crazy. But all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to see where this game goes, though. Really excited. I think it's going to go good places. Stop by the Discord. Come hang out with the kid. I'll post a link. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It helps me out tremendously. But I'll catch you guys later, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.